The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin.
And I got Lou from Fairfield, Connecticut, man. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing good, Darrell. And I got to tell you, you're not just blowing hot air out there. I think the way you look at the market is terrific. You're a nice guy as far as over the TV. All the research you do, all the homework you do, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your view of the market. It's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Let's check out where things are at right now. We got the S&P is up 5. We got TF is currently up 5 points on the day. We got the Nasdaq up 17, and we got the Dow up 19 points on the day. Copper right now is down 1.39%. Gold is currently down. We got about 1 point move. We got silver down not that much right now, so pretty flat, down 0.2%. We got natural gas down 0.26%. CL is currently down 0.09. So just a mere 10 ticks on the day. We got corn right now down $1.50. Soybeans is up $1.75. We'll get on over at euro dollar. Euro dollar is currently down 24 pips. We got the Aussie dollar up 1. We got pound dollar down 6. And looking on over, checking out the dollar franc, it is up 5 pips. We have the dollar CAD up 30. We have the dollar yen up 18. Aussie yen up 22. Looking on over at the euro yen up 8. Pound yen up 19. And the euro pound is currently down 8 pips. So checking that out right there and looking at everything that gets us caught up on where the day is. And let's see what else we got that we can look at. Let's go ahead. We'll go in and pull up the upcoming news reports. We had several news reports come out last night. And give me 1 second. I'll get that up here on the screen. All right. So, Forex Factory. All right, so you can use a lot of different websites out there, and check it out what we got. We got services PMI, we got G7 meetings. So there's a lot of little things that came out last night. There's some big things that came out, but one thing, just remember those G7 meetings are in progress, okay? So looking at the G7 meetings in progress, there's a lot of different ways to keep up with it. One of the things I like to use is a simple website called financialjuice.com. It's a data feed of a lot of different quality news services. And you can just see when random reports come out so they don't catch you off guard. And it's pretty cool, pretty simple. And anyways, check that out and see if it may help you out, because you'll see, like I said, little different things here and there. And let's see, I'll pull it on up. And so you can see they're feeding in different things that are coming out of the, let me get rid of that. But, different things that are coming out of the reports. So, all right, so looking on, what do we have that we talked about yesterday? So that's what I want to go through with you. And we went through a few different things. We had pound service PMI, talked about a condor, talked about a straddle. We talked about the unemployment claims, natural gas storage. So all these little things that you could put together. We had the interest rate announcements. So there's a lot that we can go through. So we have, let's see, what else? Aussie, pound iron condors, and let's see what all we got. Okay, so let's first look at the PMI report. And that happened today, this morning. I'm just trying to see if I got something on there. I think I need to update something. But anyway, so I'll get that done. Let's get something throwing me off. 1 second. And let me add on a chart. We'll look at the pound. We'll pull that up, and we'll walk through that trade. and how to put it together. Okay? All right. So here we go. It's just taking a little bit longer than I expected, but we got it. All right. So let me open a new chart on up. Pull it over here. And like I said, it's giving me some weird issue right now. I don't know what it is. But I got more than one platform. Come on. See if this will work. Oh, there we go. The mouse is giving me an issue. I even have backup mouses connected, ready to go. Okay. Let me close this down. Get rid of some of these pieces. But I don't know what is happening. There we go. All right, file, new chart. And now I ought to be able to go. Okay. That was ridiculous. Let's pull up minutes. That's what I mean. I have backup batteries, backup mice, backup everything. Because, I mean, you just never know. So I can just grab the other one. It's already connected. It's in the USB port, and just grab it. You know, when you're trading futures, you know, Nadex is not as big of a deal. I mean, you can sort of survive. You can pull up your iPhone app, whatever. But you're in futures. You know, you're in 10, 20 contracts. You know, you can't have a mouse go out on you in the middle of a trade. So, just some simple recommendations there. Is back everything up where it's just, I mean, it's all you got to do is reach and you got it. Okay, so pull it up. The pound dollar. And looking on over at it, we got this right here. All right, so we get in at 11 o'clock on the 3rd, but of course the report comes out in the morning on the 4th. So make sure you do, you know, have that understanding down when the reports come out and how they work. And what I'll do is I'll pull it up on another screen. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit longer. That threw me off for just a second. But usually it's in a trade, I'm sort of going a little faster, but it's a little bit different when you're on the radio talking at the same time. When you're not talking, it's a lot easier to concentrate. Okay, so we got the pound report coming out at 4:30. Let's see what happened on the report. It was a pretty decent little move right here, but let's check it out. So report to 7 a.m. comes out at 4:30. So report to 7 a.m. What's our high? We had a high right there and hit it and, you know, backed off. Moved up 44 pips from the high. That's right from the release. Okay, now we got in earlier, so we're going to measure that also. But we take this over to 7 a.m. And right there, so that's 37 pips. And then if we go over here, let me back this out. And we talked about getting in like, you know, around 11 o'clock. So to maximize the premium. That's in the value of the spreads for doing an iron condor. So if I drag that over, let's see where we got to. 14 ticks. So, you know, very, very nice, very flat. We did have some volatility. It dragged down, it pulled back up. Getting in at 11 o'clock actually worked better than getting in right before the trade due to the oscillation that happened on the report. Now, let's see. Let me look at. So that was the iron condor. That was 11 to 7. And then if we go in and we look at, there's a potential straddle play as well. And that's if you want to get it a little bit later, if you can get it cheap enough. And so that would have been getting in, like we talked about, you know, you could do a later one, you could do an earlier one. If you could get 11 o'clock, you could get it really cheap. But you probably definitely would have done it before. So, like, if you could have gotten that trade, would you got enough? Yet $30 risk was our max risk on a straddle. So at really any point, you know, if you would have got in really early on the trade, it moved up here about 20 pips. It moved down 24 pips, but you did get a nice move from the release. So let me clear these off real quick because we're starting to get a whole lot of lines on there. And from the release, if you got in previous to the release, like right before it, the maximum move would have been sufficient to, get 44 pips. But you're really trying to make 30 plus trying to make the other side. So you're trying to get a 45 pip move above where you bought. And that would have been pretty challenging. So depending upon what time you get on that trade, you probably at best broke even or lost a little bit if you straddled. So again, the preferred strategy being the condor. It all depends on what price you could get it on the trade. And all right, so we have that, and we also had the GDP on the Aussie. So let's look at it. And let's see here. Sorry, I'm just having to update a few things. All right, so let's pull the Aussie up because the Aussie was a little bit more active, and let's see if that would have worked out well for you for doing a Iron Condor on the trade or not. So looking at the Aussie, pulling it up from last night, okay? And you can see just this massive spike. I mean, let's look at what that spike was right there off that report. That GDP right there goes up, and I mean, it just flies up there. About 46 pips. Not bad for, a few minutes, okay? But what if we got in the trade at 6 o'clock, and we had a 11 o'clock expiration? It was only 6 pips. So, which means if you did a Iron Condor, as we talked about right there, for the 6 to 11, it would have moved about 31 pips up, and it would have moved about, what do we got? 15 down. So 15 down from 6 and 31 up from 6, but it finished off 6. So a perfect play for an Iron Condor on the Aussie GDP. So a very, very good trade. The other potential trade setup that we talked about was hopping in right before the news release for like a 9 to 11. I even mentioned that you could do a 9 to 10. Was one of the other options as well that I talked about because I said the movement's going to happen right out of the gate. Let's see here. So we'll pull that up, and we'll review that straddle. Then we're going to dive into the Canadian interest rate movement, and we'll talk about what's coming up because we got some big moves coming up tomorrow.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. All right, so what we're looking at right now, and just touching everything else, we're going to the Aussie dollar. We're talking about an Aussie dollar straddle. You can do the 9 to 10, or you can do the 9 to 11, because basically we look at, the move is very fast whenever the report comes out. So if you would have done that, if you would have got it cheap enough, it would have worked out just fine for you. If you did a 9 to 11 and held the thing, it definitely would have came back on you. But a lot of times I talk about these reports, I talked about like the first 15 minutes is one of the things I mentioned. That if you're going to do a straddle on this report, I'm like, hey, you need to be in, and within 15 minutes of the thing, you need to be out of the trade, because whatever move it makes, it's going to make in the first 15 minutes. So that's why it's like, it doesn't matter if it's at 10 o'clock or if it's 11 o'clock. So just, make sure you wrote those little bitty things, like the first 15-minute notes. Those are important, because you can see it right here. If you would have gotten this trade, and you would have stayed in the thing past that first 15 minutes, I mean, it would have taken everything out. You basically would have lost on the trade if you tried to straddle that. So those little pieces are essential to making these things work, okay? And let's see here. Pull up. That's the straddle one we're going into. So I had a trader comment about that. Yeah, definitely the 15 minutes is huge on it. So obviously just understand that if I say 15 minutes, it doesn't, whatever expiration would fall within that category. The closest one you can get for the best possible setup. And let's see what we got over here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the dollar CAD now. And check out, we had a little release on that today, so lots of nice volatility in the FX markets. If you're taking advantage of the news, a lot of times people complain about, there's no volatility, nothing's going on, whatever. but they're not taking advantage of it. So let's look at 7 to 3 is basically the iron condor we talked about. And we can go in here, we can go, okay, well, where are we at right now? So at this moment, we're 16 ticks off of 7 a.m. If we go on up here to the high, we get a high of 30, go on down to the low. Since then, we got a low of 8. And if I pull up the charts, we can actually look at this one still. So give me a minute here. We'll go into that. And I'll pull it up. We'll check it out. So hopefully the little Nadex charts will be working soon. And if they're not, then I know we're about 1 to 2 weeks out from having our own historical charts. We're already recording the data. And so if I go over here and pull up, I'm just going into the Nadex platform real quick, but we're going to be adding this in. We have a whole new version of the scanner being built. But let's check out the dollar CAD. And let me look at the 7 to 3s. And while I'm doing that and opening that up, let's see here, pull one more piece. Okay, so that'll give me the charts, and pop that out of the window so we can look at it for the upper and the lower spread. And we pull the lower spread on out. Pop that out of the window. And sometimes you have to like drag it forward and then drag it back, or change the amount of time that it's plotting in. I don't know why, just seems to work that way. So we'll see here if it'll work for us. I'm pretty sure I got the right one. So yeah, 1 to 3, 12 to 3. Let's see here, 7 to 3. And that'll be, let's see, what it's 200 points wide? It's 200 points wide. All right, let's just see if they're, sometimes they don't give the data the way that we want them, so we'll back out to 30 minutes to see if that gives it to us. There we go. So now that we got it, yeah, I'm going to have to stay on 30 minutes. And then I'll just do this and then drag it back, and now I have a normal chart. I have no idea why. I need to get their stuff together. But, all right, so we got the lower one. Let's see if we can get the upper one. Let's try it one more time. Sort of ironic considering the upper one's the one that's actually active right now because it's in the money. And there we go. That's better. All right, so I'll pull that up. We'll walk through this one a little bit more in detail right when we get back. And then we'll talk about the upcoming trades. Pound, euro, interest rates, press conference, all that right around the corner. Stay right back. We'll be back right after this. We'll be back right after this.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Andy Hecht has just announced a live 90-minute webinar that he'll be hosting Saturday, June 7th from 9:30 till 11 a.m. Eastern Time, entitled Energy Opportunities During the Summer of 2014. With the frigid winter having depleted some key energy stockpiles, Russian political tensions high, and the storm season for the Gulf setting up to reverberate through energy markets worldwide, opportunities could present themselves over the summer months that could provide huge payoffs. When you sign up, you'll gain immediate access to a 7-page report Andy has put together as an introduction to what he'll be covering so you can start preparing and get a feel for what Andy will be discussing live during the workshop on Saturday, June 7th. Andy will be advising his attendees of at least one trading recommendation in each area, including crude oil, natural gas, coal, and refining spreads and oil products. The best part is that this live 90-minute webinar is only $99. Don't wait. Sign up today and reserve your spot while gaining instant access to Andy's 7-page report right now. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And so just looking at, where the markets are at, we're talking about the Canadian dollar interest rate. And looks like the trade worked out rather well. So far anyway, but we were trying to pull up and check out specifically. We want to go in and look at the charts, and they did finally load on up for us. So, what were the prices that you could have got on the trade? Was it possible? A lot of these, they aren't. They're just not there. And if they're not there, there's not much you can do about it besides try to, layer into them, which has its issues in itself. But if you went in and you bought the upper spread, and, we can change this over to ask, and we can go over here. We can change this over to bid because we're selling it. And, again, if you get that right there, just grab it and pull it back. Pretty easy. Okay, so you could have bought it for 109.14. Okay, like best 109.15, whatever. So right around there. And that would have been a 15 ticks in income. If we switch the other side. We go on the sell side over here. You could have sold this for 109.41, 42, about 12 ticks. So it's like about 17. Not 17, but 27 or so combined. And again, they did oscillate a little bit. So as it went up, you maybe could have sold this one for more. But the plan we're looking for, so this is what you got to put all the pieces together. It's not that they're always going to be there. This is our setup. We really wanted $45 on the trade. And so it would have been very difficult, to say the least, to have pulled that off with that contract. You could look at trying to pull off and doing a straddle if you see that it's cheap enough. So that's also always an option. The thing did move up 30 pips, but again, it was 22 pips. And what were you going to really make on the trade by the time it got up there? Not much of anything. So knowing these stats and knowing what you need to really make it worth it is very helpful. If you would have brought in 27 ticks, right now you'd basically be up like 10. You would have been down 3 at one point. But the reason we chose 45 is because how far it usually moves, or, like half the time it moves really about 45, 50 pips. So we went to the side of caution. We could have went for like 30, 40 bucks. That would have worked half the time, but then the other half it would have wiped out a profit, so what's the point? So I want the right trade. If it's there, I'll check it. If it's not, it's pretty simple. I'm done. I don't have to sit there and watch it for 4 hours. Either the pricing is there or the pricing's not. It only takes me a few minutes. If it's there, I put my trade on. If it's not, I move on and I find a different trade. But I know a specific trade at a specific time of day that I can put on, and I'm done and I can walk. So it's a really, really easy trade to put on. It's just collecting premium. And it's not doing it in the premium collection binary format. It's not that all or nothing thing going on. And that covers the CAD interest rate. So let's look at what else we got that we can use, that you can use, coming into the rest of the week. And you got that right here. So, but there's a sneak peek at our new scanner that's coming up. Make it even easier. So we got a lot of little things we still got to do on it. But I'm just trying to make it very, very user-friendly, very intuitive. And, instrument filters, just a quick drop-down list, but it'll go with you. And so, anyway, some cool stuff. But always improving. Let's see what we got over here. Going into the news for tomorrow. And see if we got much for tonight. We got trade balance on the Aussie tonight. Let me pull that on up and see if there's anything on that one. Should be a pretty flat one. Be my expectation. So if we're looking at, say, an 11 o'clock expiration, trade balance coming out. We got 40 pip move on one of them. 45, 20. That's why I always check. All right, 16, 14, another 40. So trade balance actually has a nice little impact by that time. Wow. So that one's about 30. It looked bigger, but now if we go in at 6, then you actually can get more on quite a few of these because it's the oscillation in the market. I would look at see if you can pull off a straddle for 35 or less, or an iron condor for 45 or more. So I'm going to put it on both sides. So both of them. So either do a straddle for $30 or less, or an iron condor for 45 or more on the trade, and that's getting in as early as 6. Okay, and as late as 11. Your iron condor, you're more likely to want to get into as early as 6, right? So because you're going to get the premium. Your straddle, you could get in as late as somewhere between 6 and, let's see, what do we got on here? I got all these tickets, got to get rid of. Okay, 9 o'clock. So between 6 and 9, you can enter on the straddle. And hopefully you'll be able to get that thing for even cheaper. As far as how fast does it move, could you choose if you got in like really late, if you got in at 9 o'clock, let's see, on these moves that we're getting, it's 11 o'clock's pretty on. So you're probably going to want to stick with 11. It's not like one of those 15-minute market movers. It can take some time. So either way, 11 o'clock is the only choice, and then, like I said, somewhere between 6 and 9, enter on the straddle, $30 or less, $45 or more, 6 to 11 on the iron condor. Okay, so that knocks out the Aussie trade. Let's go ahead and dive into what else we got. We got retail sells, Europe. I'm not even going to bother with that, considering what else we have going on. We're going to go to the official bank rate, the minimum bid rate, and the EU press conference. Okay, these are our little series of trades. I do it pretty consistently. And so let's just pull them up right here. Okay, so let's pull up the bank rate. Last time it came out was the 8th. And if I open up my calendar over here, then I basically just repeat what I did on the last report. So I just go in and copy that one. But going in on May 8th, let me pull up May 8th. All right, we got a 6 to 8 o'clock. There's usually no change. It may pop a little bit. It comes on back down. And that's a pound-dollar iron butterfly. And we're going to look for 35 to 50 bucks, which is actually somewhat realistic. Like, it's very possible to pull that off. So, we'd go for that. Let's see. And, yes, okay, so we got 6 to 8 o'clock, 35 to 50 bucks. An iron butterfly or iron condor. I prefer, as you know, iron condors. And then we also have we have another one that we did 6 to 8. I did on the euro dollar because it's usually really, really flat, even through the interest rate announcement. And so I'm going to, again, use the same plan I used on May 8th. I'm going to look for 35 to 50 bucks in the euro dollar. Usually nothing happening there. And but after that release comes out, then we usually get some nice movement. And so that's the ECB press conference. So at 8 o'clock, that condor's expiring on the euro dollar and the pound dollar. We have 2 iron condors on. Then, looking at 8 to 10, I mean, you could also check out, like 8 to, you could look at the 3 p.m. as well. I mean, who knows? Sometimes it actually does work out well. But the press conference comes out at 8:30. Okay, so I get in right at 8, like right after that condor expires. And usually the 10 o'clock will capture most, if not all, of the movement. And so the conference basically lasts an hour long, so it's like 8:30 to 9:30. And there's a couple parts inside the conference. That's why you don't want the 9 o'clock, because you need that additional half hour there. And to put it all together. And you can watch ECB.int if you actually want to watch the press conference. It's a little bit of a delayed webcast, though, so I don't know how much good it's going to do you. But we get a average move of about 76 pips on this report, and on the press conference itself. And let me see here. I'll pull up. Let me go through and I'll run through some of the stats. But it's just it's one of my favorite trades. It's consistent, nice, moving trade after the announcement. And let me see if I can make it, if I can easily look at like 10 and 3. All right, so we got 77 pips as of 10 a.m. on the last report. We got 77 pips as of 3 p.m. Like, it did nothing, hint, hint, on butterflies, right? So might add that to your list of consider maybe doing a 3 o'clock butterfly at 10 o'clock. So could be a trade as well. Report before that, we had 35 pips at 10 a.m. and we had 26 pips difference as of 3 p.m. Again, great straddle trade leading into a great butterfly trade. Well, a semi-decent straddle trade, but leading into a great butterfly trade. And that straddle, our risk on that straddle, just in case you didn't catch that, over here for the ECB interest, 45 bucks was our maximum risk, okay? A lot of times you don't even have to pay that, but at least you got it. Report before that, we had 98 pips and 100 pips. 10 a.m. versus 3 p.m. So again, butterflying that thing right at 10 o'clock. So working very well. Going down, so I definitely want to add that to the list. So I'm going to add this to the list. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. iron condor or butterfly. Okay. On the euro dollar, let's see, I got a 105 versus 80. So that was actually probably the biggest one we've had. We had 15 pips difference between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. But we had 105 pips at 10 a.m. Okay, so see, this is a nice trade. 16 versus 6, the one before that. So that one, it just didn't move. Just didn't happen. So if you're condoring, great, but that wasn't our trade. We condored before it. And that's one of the beautiful things when I talk about, if you can pull that condor off before the trade happens and then go in and straddle it, well, if your straddle loses, you're fine, So your condor covered that. And we're probably being more aggressive than we need to, honestly. So we may go back and look at the aggressiveness on the condor. We'll do that after we wrap this up right here. But 10 versus 3, 10 ticks on 745. We got, now this is interesting. Back on November 7th last year, it's 135 ticks at 10 a.m. It pulled back 75. That's a time when a butterfly would not have worked, but it also proves the point that you get the move. Now, that was when Draghi surprised the market with an interest rate release change. But, I mean, it just shows that still 10 a.m. is when the movement happens. Now, what would have worked is if you just would have done a reversal, a one-sided, like, say, premium collection trade on a butterfly or a spread. That would have worked. Before that, we got 73 versus 73. I mean, the exact same thing 5 hours later. 84 versus 87. 10 a.m. versus 3 p.m. Actually, a little bit of a move on one of these. We got like 10 ticks versus 25 ticks. So that was one time where we got a little bit more move down. It wasn't lower than like the lowest low, but the lowest low had actually moved down a little bit further than that. Then we got 84 ticks versus 65. So in all cases, you're really, I mean, I think I've seen like one case in the last 12 months where you would have been better off holding past 10 o'clock. So meaning that you can get the 10 a.m. cheaper and make more on it. And often you don't really even have to take the thing off. I mean, I'm looking at these 10 a.m.s, and if you're at your 1-to-1, you can take off, but I'd at least trail it, But I mean, a lot of times it'll just keep going and going and going. Anyway, so that's our straddle. Let's talk about. I want to back up for a second. I want to look at that iron condor that we're talking about doing, that 6 to 8. And going, how much do we really need to bring in? And from what I can see, let's see if I can pull up. I might be able to do this by sort of using the pound report. Yeah, that's not going to help me as much as I want. Help me a little bit, though. I'll use a pound report, but I'll change it to euro dollar. And by doing that, then I can sort of zone in. Right, I'll cover that with you when we get back. Stay right there.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com. Eastern legend tells of a fair maiden who was offered a rare gift by the king of the land, a bag of pearls. The king promised that she could keep the largest, most perfect pearl she could find with these 3 conditions. 1, choose only 1 pearl. 2, remove 1 pearl at a time, accept or reject it. And 3, if rejected, it would be lost forever. She began by looking at the pearls, passing on many special treasures. She delved deeper into the bag, and soon the pearls were replaced with pebbles. Sadly, she went home empty-handed. Folks, replace pearls with time, because we cannot go back even 2 seconds. We live in the eternal moment of now. So when now are you going to take advantage of my offer to you, a subscription to my daily investment newsletter service, Mastering Probability, where you can experience the most incredible pearls for trading and investing, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator and Strategy. The offer? It gets better. A 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't go home empty-handed. Mastering Probability. Available on the homepage of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. All right, so I did go back and I looked at the euro dollar and found out that we actually need to go and reduce that amount down so that we'll be more likely to get filled on that on just the euro dollar one, okay? So about 25 minimum on the iron condor, or minimum profit versus the 35 to 40. And just looking at the stats, that's actually a lot better rule of thumb. I'm going to stick with what we've used previously on our pound iron condor. I already went over that one. If you'd like, I'll go ahead. Probably be helpful if I went over that one again for you. But the pound iron condor that I do, and I'll get all this posted up. But on the pound iron condor here, the 6 to 8, usually looking for like at least $35 or more on that iron condor. Okay, so just see if that's available. It should be available, and I would stick to 35 definitely. Obviously, or more is better. But I can definitely see that you could come down to 25 on euro dollar, and that could work. And just use a 1-to-1 risk reward stop on that on the euro dollar. I mean, there's the occasional rarity where it changes. The only time that's going to get you, okay, and it's only a 2-hour one, so it's only going to be 100% wide, which means. Let's see, if you make 25, if it went all the way to lose 75, which would not be fun, but you can cap that risk off just by getting out. So, but yeah, just that's really all it is. It's very simple. So we got Iron Condor. We got straddle from 8 to 10, and then we have another Iron Condor from 10 to 3 on the euro dollar, meaning expect it to be flat. And that probably will go for most of the other currency pairs as well. And what I'll do is I'll review that tomorrow with you. We'll go through, and I'll tell you, I'll go through a bunch of the currency pairs for the interest rate day. And because I was amazed to see just how little a difference there was on the euro dollar between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And so we'll see, obviously it'll be a little bit later because the show's later in the day. But we'll pull those stats up and walk through them for you. And maybe develop just a whole another plan of Iron Condors that are news day related, but not necessarily news trade related. And but we added a new one to our list today. Like I said, the 10 to 3 p.m. post press conference, post straddle trade that you got on. So we got 4 trades, really just back to back to back happening that you can take advantage of. And what else? Is there anything else that I can see? I'm not going to worry about ISM reports. Let's see. The jobless claims, I don't care. Building permits, I don't care. I'm going to put all my focus, IVPMI, I don't care. I'm going to put all my focus on euro dollar and pound dollar. I guess you could look at, if you wanted to, I guess I'll pull them just because they are other interest rates. We got like 2 minutes here. So I'm not going to. I'm going to be very nervous to touch trade balance. So I'm not even going to look at that just because, depending upon what's happening with the euro dollar or the pound dollar, that can move the dollar, which moves the dollar CAD. But I guess it could be worth looking at the IVPMI. Problem is, a lot of times that IVPMI is not always on the same day. Let's see here. IVPMI. And one of the things I look at is I'll compare dates, okay? So let me back out. And unfortunately, the other stupid news reports in the way. But May 6th, April 4th, March 6th, May 8th, April 3rd, March 6th. Yeah. See, so it's going to... that ECB press conference is really sort of like the king of the day. So I'd be a little bit leery on messing with the dollar CAD news trades on this day. All right. Well, y'all have a great trading day. Hope it works out well for tomorrow. And I will see you tomorrow right here on the Diagnostic Trading Hour.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
You're watching Tiger TV.